But on to number 2 is the Antichrist of the Remnant himself, Apollyon. Issue 2. I think it's issue 2. Is it issue 2? I think it's Secret Files issue 2 of the Remnant. Is one of the best issues from the Remnant that floundered really badly because of a lack of editorial checking. Like there were a lot of spelling errors and stuff in it, and some of the pages, at least for the issue that I bought, had really, really bad mixed up spelling errors. Not just spelling errors, but like paragraph errors. But the story that was told in issue 2 of the Remnant Secret Files on the origin of Apollyon and how we came to the scene and this whole fictional take on the Antichrist and everything is one of my favorite introductions on the Remnant. Just because of how they laid down the background and lore for him on like dating it all the way back to the fall of Lucifer and eventually Apollyon's upbringing to becoming the Antichrist, the way Apollyon has like been woven into the Remnant story makes him one of my favorite characters. He hasn't had a couple of direct standoffs, but he has more so been working in the shadows, looking in the backgrounds. He has had 1 or 2 direct standoffs with the Remnant, which is primarily in Remnant issue 4 on the fight for Blue Flame's soul. But just like how he's like presented as this mastermind working things together, deceiving the ones who are currently the Watchers by appearing to them as the false gods they worship, giving them immense amount of power, then luring them into doing the red baptism and eventually being fully possessed by the demonic entities that are under his command, as well as leading into them losing the free will as stated with what they do when they take the red baptism and allying themselves with Apollyon and the Antichrist. I really like it a lot. Now, I don't really have a end times perspective on like pre-trib, post-trib, or mid-trib, or what is this, preterist or anything. I don't really have a full-blown perspective to it. So Remnant to me is just like fun Christian fiction. There have been people who like try to call it out in the comment section, but I just like the whole aspect of the superheroes and that fight against the premature rise of the Antichrist, fighting alongside a apostle of Jesus Christ. Yes, John the Apostle. The whole perspective of Remnant is on that verse, I think from John 23:21. I don't have it in front of me, but that verse that says, what if it was for John to live till Christ's return, what is that to Peter? And it took that verse as one of the main scriptures that the fictional story of the Remnant is anchored on, and have the Christian heroes who honor God, pray. Some of them are past. I think 1 or 2 of them. No, we don't have a pastor as the hero yet. But yeah, like pray, honor God, and they have all been called. Some decided to fight the good fight on their own, and in return, in the end, got connected with the Remnant, and some were just defending their communities against all the evil in the world. Because even in the Remnant itself, it says that not every Remnant hero is Christian. Not every Remnant hero is Christian, but it's all about those who assemble to align themselves with the heroes which are Christian to fight against Apollyon and his premature rise. But even though all of them have disconnected stories, it all ties back into their fight against Apollyon. And what I like about it really much is that Apollyon is unredeemable. Like he is no anti-hero. He is just straight evil. There's no redemption for Apollyon. He is just like, he is Satan's right-hand man in that sense on the earth, and Bill writes him like Satan's right-hand man. And he writes the villains that surround and are deceived and then willingly give themselves into Apollyon to be empowered by him. He just writes them as pure villains. They are not like these anti-heroes. There's some in there like Warrior and Blue Flame who got the chance of redemption. but it's just pure evil. And I've been reading a lot of like other stories, well, Marvel stories in particular, recently, as well. I didn't watch it, but if you saw the pop culture discussions on Acolyte, is where evil has been merged into good, where there's no longer like hard definitive evil in a lot of stories recently. Is more a case of, oh, well, that's just your perspective of what evil is. Even though what they're portraying to be good is like pure evil. But Apollyon, he's just like the true north, like the Antichrist, the true north of evil and demonic influence, full stop. And that's one of the reasons why I like him a lot and take him as like an archetype for my own fictional writing that I am currently in the process of penning, is that true north of evil, which is the devil in Christian fiction. He embodies that within the Remnant stories. Like, seeing panels with Apollyon cussing, I don't really take issue with it because, I mean, he's evil. Or doing like demonic rituals and all that, it's different because it's like, he is the Antichrist. He is the full-fledged like demonic influence on the earth incarnate, pretty much. So that's one of the main reasons why I like him and Bill Robb's approach to him. It sounds weird saying it sometimes. It's like I'm endorsing evil, but I'm endorsing evil in the right context, which I don't know if my words make much sense here. But it's more so in like where a lot of stories are all about the subjectivity of evil, and well, if you're using witchcraft for good purposes to save the world, it's alright. Like in our look at Christian superheroes in a superpowered world, where we look at Dr. Fate and Nightcrawler. A lot of people in the comments, professing Christians, that were like in justification of witchcraft in all those things, because, well, at least you're using it for good, and God would understand if you're using witchcraft and demonic influences for the sake of good. And Apollyon at least is like, especially like, as I say, with a lot of modern stuff that have been coming out, evil has been subjectified into, well, that's just evil from your perspective. Even if like I watch a lot of social commentary in regard to like folks like the Sparrow and Heel versus Babyface and stuff, where they break down the madness that was the Acolyte, and just like the not weird, but like just the twisting of good and evil into being this whole like gray pool of, well, it's just evil from your perspective, when in reality of what they're presenting is just pure evil. And to see evil being presented as just like pure evil, no up, no down, no maybe Apollyon could change his heart, like, no, he's evil, he's the Antichrist, full stop, and he will do what the Antichrist is made to do in this fictional content of the in this fictional context of the Remnant. So yeah, that's Apollyon at number 2 on my list. I hope I made sense of what my train of thought there, with comparing what I like about the Remnant in regards to how they portray evil with Apollyon and all these demonic influences in a Christian comic. I like that approach to it, rather than what I see in a lot of secular style of comics, that, well, demonic influence and stuff could be subjected to being good, because at least we're using the demonic powers and stuff for good, even though it's all fiction. You guys know I have a lot of videos on channel on my disdain towards those kind of storylines, and for Apollyon to be like that true 100% subjectivity of evil is evil, full stop, in the story. There's nobody in the Remnant who is dabbling in demonic powers and fighting for Christ. There's none of that. If you're fighting with demons, or if you're using demons and stuff for a superpower in the Remnant, here's a watcher. Or you're fighting on the side of Apollyon. You ain't fighting for Christ.